I found an app that allows me to see every file on every hard drive I own without any of them being actually plugged in. I found this randomly a couple of days ago, and this review is not sponsored. Nobody asked me to make this video, okay? The app is called DM and it solves the hard drive problem that every videographer has. Here's what it does. You plug in your hard drive, it scans them, creates thumbnails for all of the videos and pulls all the metadata and stores that locally on your computer. Now you can browse all of your external drives no matter where they are or whether they are plugged in or not. I have like 47 terabytes spread over like 18 different hard drives. All of my files now show up in one convenient library. I can see every clip, every photo, folder structure, and it doesn't really matter where my drives are, which is amazing. The search function is where it gets really interesting because it is using machine learning to analyze your videos, so you can basically search what is in your footage rather than the file name. So if I want to search for like a sunset clip or whatever, I can simply type that in and there you go. I see all of the sunset clips on all of my drives, which is nuts. It also works with people. So if I type in my name, then it intuitively knows that I'm Eric. But if I have other people, I can just give them like specific names and then it will categorize under that. It also has map view. So if your specific device has GPS data enabled, you can see where everything was shot by just clicking on the map. Another thing worth mentioning is the fact that it plays raw video natively, so you don't need to create proxies, which is super convenient. There are also more ways to organize things, like adding tags or smart bins that auto-update or albums for organizing entire projects, which is very cool. The sync takes a little bit of time depending on how deep you go. So let's say for a 4 terabyte drive, for example, metadata only is only about like 20 minutes. But if you want to do the full deep sync with image previews, it is around 2 hours. But you gotta do it only once per drive. And it not only works with physical drives, but you can also sync stuff like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive, which is very convenient. If you wonder about security, they say on the website that your data stays local and they're not going to access your files. And I guess it probably wouldn't even be possible because you can't upload like 100 terabyte when your drive is plugged in only like 20 minutes. And besides, like, where would they store all of this data? The UI is very cool. So for example, you can see the previews of the files there, and it detects all kinds of things in your videos. If you wonder about the pricing, right now there is a free beta for Mac and Windows, and I noticed a couple of like very minor bugs which I think they will iron out very soon. And what I think is going to happen, a couple of months in, they'll probably start charging you. I don't really know what the pricing is going to be when it launches, but if you got drives scattered all over the place and you lost track on what's on half of them like me, I think this is worth trying now. For less than 3 drives, the service is going to remain free of charge. In case you wonder if there are similar services out there, I found one app which is called Kino, but it doesn't seem as sophisticated, and as a reference that costs like $160 for the first year and later $79 per year. So hopefully this one is going to be cheaper. And as I said, this is not sponsored. I don't know who the company is. I have no relationship, but I find this extremely useful. If you have a filmmaker friend with a lot of hard drives that might benefit from this, feel free to share this video, and I will see you guys in one of the next ones.